What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Monday, January 5th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night and a bunch of NBA player props. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day. And let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks. And you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday was a pretty crazy day out there across the NFL. We did get off to a good start there, cashing the Bills at -7.5. Fading the Jets is one of the easiest plays down the stretch this season. Buffalo got us the easy win and cover behind 4 touchdowns there from Mitch Trubisky and just a no-show performance there from the Jets. The Bills end up winning that one 35-8. We were on the Bears at -3, and stuff like this is why I don't trust Chicago in the postseason. Caleb Williams was fine, but not great. The Chicago running game stank against a Lions team with nothing to play for. Chicago couldn't stop the run. They ended up losing this game 19-16. So not a great way to end the regular season there for the Bears. We did cash the Rams at -9.5. It was a blowout 37-20 win there for the Rams behind 4 touchdowns from Stafford and a decent day from their defense. The goal for the Rams was mostly to make sure they get back on track after that disaster against Atlanta, and they do accomplish that goal. They're ready to go here with the playoffs, right there on the horizon. We cashed the Patriots -11.5. That was a 38-10 win there for the Patriots behind a good game there from Drake May and a dominant showing from Ramondre Stevenson, who had 131 yards on 7 carries. Fading Miami in the cold still feels like free money, even if Tua is not the guy under center. We've still got the Steelers live at +3.5. That game is going back and forth down the stretch. An absolute barn burn of a competition. We'll be keeping an eye on that one here as we record. We did break out the Bengals as our money line lock of the day. Didn't work out. Insanely tilting there for the Bengals. They managed to lose to Cleveland despite their offense outgaining Cleveland 378 yards to 229 yards, and they lose this game. Absolutely embarrassing stuff. You hate to see it. I can't believe that the Bengals actually went out this way to end the season. Embarrassing. But we do still have the Steelers live at +3.5 to come out with a winning day. So if that can happen, we would certainly be more than happy to take it. Let's go ahead now, guys, and dive into a pretty busy day out there across the sporting world here on Monday. We got a lot of NBA games to cover. We've got a nice little chunk of college basketball to cover as well. We've got player props. We've got the whole 9 yards. Let's go ahead and dive in. And first up, we're going to be looking at the New York Knicks as they go on the road here to take on the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks come into this game 23-12 on the season, but riding a 3-game losing streak, and I would be shocked. I'm pretty sure this is their first 3-game losing streak of the season by a wide margin. So we'll see if they can bounce back here. Their losses were against the Spurs, Hawks, and 76ers, so not horrendous losses, and obviously they've been dealing with some injury stuff, but when you got Brunson and Cat out there, you're probably not supposed to lose to teams like these 76ers. But I mean, the Knicks didn't even play terrible. The defense wasn't good. They only shot 43% from the field, but shot 40% from 3, kept things basically even on the boards. They did have more turnovers than the 76ers, so that's not great. The bench, has kind of returned to struggling, although Miles McBride was great once again. Since coming back from injury, he's just looked amazing out there, so maybe he's going to be the cure for this bench here down the stretch, but I was a little bit, that loss was a little bit worrying for me there from the Knicks. We'll see if they've got a bounce back in them here going on the road. Other injury report still seems a little bit up in the air whether or not Josh Hart will be able to play, or no, it seems like he won't be able to play in this game, only been cleared for light court work. So yeah, they're still taking it pretty easy on that ankle. Obviously, this Knicks team is focused way down the road, not necessarily on a night-to-night basis in terms of, just trying to take care of business here in the regular season. Other than that, the Knicks are very healthy and ready to go for this game, which is a change. The bench has generally been banged up this season, but they are ready to go in this one as they head to Detroit to take on the Pistons, who at 26-9 on the season are having a pretty good time. They have struggled a little bit recently, losing 3 out of their last 5, but they're coming off a big 114-110 win there over the Cavaliers. You gotta love it if you're a Pistons fan, honestly. Cade had a good night, but didn't have to do it all himself. That being said, he was only 7 of 22 from the field, so not, a monster night by his standards, but we've loved what we've seen from the bench recently. Jenkins was great. He had 25 points in 25 minutes, like we saw from Javonte Green. In terms of the starters, Isaiah Stewart being the starting lineup, we'll see. He's a very solid defensive option, but doesn't offer that much offensively. This team just feels like it's one piece away from really being truly dominant, but they did a great job on the boards in that game. They did a pretty good job defensively as well, and they do come away with a 4-point win over a solid opponent. So yeah, Pistons got to be very, very happy with that. The injury report here for Detroit. Now, keep in mind they are playing on back-to-back nights, so this isn't fully updated, but we see a couple pretty important guys on there. Now, Tobias Harris, he's dealing with that hip issue. He won't be back for this game. Jalen Duren dealing with that ankle issue. He's going to be out for at least another 6 or 7 days at a minimum. And Karis LeVert, he didn't play in that game against Cleveland, but whether or not he plays doesn't really move the needle for me too much in this one. So, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Pistons are getting 3.5 points at home. We've got a total of 234.5. The Knicks, they're only 4-11 against the spread on the road this season. That's an NBA worst against the spread mark playing away from home. They are 4-7 against spread after a loss, and they're 21-15 to the over, so a significant over team. Detroit, they're 8-7 against the spread at home. They're 13-12 against spread after win. They are 2-4 against the spread on no rest, and they are a 500 over-under team. This is a bit of a tough spot, guys. I do like over 234.5. I think we'll see a good amount of offense in this game. I think this is going to be one of those, the more high-scoring, Pistons games, and obviously the Knicks put up, big points pretty much every game. In terms of a side, despite their struggles against the spread on the road, I am going to take the Knicks to get the win and cover here. It's going to be a small play at best. Will it make the pinned comment? Maybe, because they are really catching the Pistons in a pretty good spot. They're going to be shorthanded, and they are going to have, the Pistons are going to be pretty freaking tired after, playing on back-to-back nights. So I do think this is a good spot to take the Knicks. I've also got a couple player props that I think are reasonable for this game. And first up, I'll take Miles McBride under 2.5 assists. He's been under this number 9 of his last 10 games. And in his last 5 games in a row. He's looked great since coming back from injury. There's no doubt about that, but there's also no shot this dude is going to suddenly start passing the ball a ton. He's going up against the Pistons. He's going to let it fly. The Pistons are a pretty good defensive team anyway, so yeah, I think we see lots of shots from Miles McBride, but I do not think we're going to see lots of assists. Sticking with the Knicks here, I'll take OG Anunoby under 2.5 threes made. He's been under this number in 8 of his last 10 games and is going against a very solid defense here. The Pistons, they're good defensively for sure. I don't think suddenly that he's going to be making a ton of threes, and playing on the road definitely helps this play make it look even better. I don't think OG's going to have a great time shooting on those away rims. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. The Bulls are 17-18 on the season. They've had some injury concerns and continue to have those concerns, but they've been playing relatively well, winning 2 out of their last 3. Their last time out was a 112-99 loss there against the Hornets, but Charlotte's been looking a lot better recently, so I'm not going to talk too much crap on the Bulls for losing that game. It wasn't the best showing ever, don't get me wrong. Vujicic, had a big day out there, 28 points, very, very efficient shooting numbers, flirted with a triple-double, honestly, and just played really, really well, but he didn't get very much help. Buzelis was fine, but not great. Dosunmu had 16 points off the bench. He was definitely helping, but they just didn't have enough there in the tank. They only shot 27% from 3. That's not usually going to get the job done. Didn't do a great job getting to the free throw line, and they also got out-rebounded by kind of a significant margin in this game, so a lot of issues there for the Chicago Bulls. They're definitely in a bit of a bounce-back spot, but can they bounce back without getting healthy? We're going to have to wait and see. This is a team definitely built around Josh Giddey, out there running point, leading the way, but with Giddey sidelined, things have not been smooth sailing. He's not going to be back for at least another 10 to 12 days, so we won't be seeing Josh Giddey in this one. We are very unlikely, in my opinion, to be seeing Kobe White out there dealing with that calf issue. Not going to be rushing people back from calf injuries here anytime soon. Jalen Smith dealing with concussion, will not play in this game. He's out. And Zach Collins, he's going to be out for quite a while longer, so around another week. So the Bulls are going to be a little bit shorthanded for this game, and that's not a great sign for them as they head to Boston to take on the Celtics. Now, the Celtics are 22-12 on the year. They've won 3 straight games, winning 3 in a row there against Western Conference opponents is pretty good. They beat the Jazz, Kings, and Clippers, but Jaylen Brown put up a 50-piece there in that blowout win over the Clippers. Crazy, crazy work by him. He's having an amazing season. The question was always how is he going to look? Is he really going to be able to step into, the Tatum's spot, really, and be just the number 1 offensive option by a landslide margin? And he has shown a major ability to just make that happen. He did get tons of help in that game from Derek White. He had 29 points, went 10 of 20 from the field, and 5 of 12 from 3. And had 4 boards and 7 assists. Very, very good numbers across the board. Pritchard did exactly what they need him to do in his 40 minutes. The bench chipped in big time. Luka Garza, Anthony Simons, and Jordan Walsh all playing really, really well off the pine. Boston shot 47% from three in that game. They did a very good job on the boards, really dominated the boards there against the Clippers, who did get Zubac back for 21 minutes, but he was not able to turn the tide there. So a dominant blowout win there for the Celtics. They will definitely take it. Still, it's looking more and more like this is going to be a scary team in the postseason, especially if we see Jason Tatum come back and, look anything like real Jason Tatum. But we'll see. That is obviously an insanely big ask, and I think actually a little bit crazy for him to even be considering. But we'll see what happens down the stretch. They come into this game very healthy and ready to go. No injury concerns whatsoever here for the Boston Celtics. They are playing at home. They are 10.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 235.5. The Bulls are 8-8 against the spread on the road. They're 8-9 against spread after a loss, and they are 19-16 to the under. Boston, they are 8-7 against spread at home. They're 12-9 against spread after a win, and they are 18-16 to the under themselves. Despite those both teams here showing trends towards the under, I would lean more towards over 235 than I would towards under. That play won't be making the pinned comment or anything like that, but I do think it's worth at least mentioning our lean on the total there. In terms of a side, I will take the Celtics here at minus 10.5 playing at home. I don't have a ton of faith in the Bulls right now with no Giddey. I know they've kind of been making it work a little bit, but Boston is a really, really good team right now. And yeah, they're not playing on the front half of a back-to-back or anything like that. No major crazy look-ahead spot there for Boston. So I think they're in excellent shape to win in a blowout once again in this one. We've also got some player props that I think are reasonable for this game. And first up, we'll definitely take Jaylen Brown over 29.5 points. This total has come down a little bit. He's been killing it this season in general. He's been over this number 8 of his last 10 games, coming off that 50 piece. Maybe we have to be worried about a letdown spot, but he's just been so good. The Bulls really don't play any defense. I think this is a great pop-off spot for him, especially playing at home. That helps also, shooting on those home rims should be helpful. I think we see a big night out of Jaylen Brown, and I also think we're going to see a very productive night there from Derek White. I'll take him over 4.5 rebounds in this game. He's been over this number 7 of his last 10 games. I think this is a decent spot for him on the glass. The Bulls don't really have a lot of great rebounding options. I mean, there's not a ton of monsters for him to really compete with there on Boston. Just everybody plays a pretty high intensity, so that can kind of limit his rebound opportunities. My biggest concern in this game would be it being a blowout and him not really getting his full increment of minutes. That would obviously mess this one up a little bit. So I do think the Jaylen Brown prop is my favorite one in this game. The Derek White one, though, probably has some value to it as well. Before we hop in and look at the Atlanta Hawks going on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors, we get a shout out the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, guys, our premium members are getting a pretty good deal. You've got daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks coming out every single day. We're coming off a nice week of NFL action. Did unfortunately get a really, really bad beat there just moments ago with the Ravens missing that potential game-winning field goal that would have, gave us a monster, massive winning day there on the NFL side. That would have cashed 2 10-unit plays there on the NFL, but very, very bad luck on that one. But overall, very, very good stuff cooking over there on the premium side. Tons and tons of NBA stuff coming out this week. Lots of great college basketball action. NHL is cooking every single day. And maybe most importantly, we've got the NFL playoffs coming up, and that is going to be a big, big time over there in the premium section. So definitely get over there and check all that out, guys. It's a great time to dive in over there as a premium member. You also got to check out all the free stuff that we offer at StumpTheSpread.com. Like I said, you got to get over there every single day, guys. We got free picks every day under the free picks tab. We also have our free email newsletter. Get over there and sign up for that. It's very easy to sign up. You just give them your name and your email address when you set up a free account, and you'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day. It's going to have player props in it. It's going to have parlays in it. It's going to have lots of picks against the spread and over under every single day. Free picks in that email, updates on our results, tons of NFL player props and touchdown props coming out through the week and especially on the weekends. Lots of stuff in those emails on the college football playoff. Those emails are just a wealth of information every single solitary week. So make sure that you're always getting in on those. It's a great, great resource every single day. And once you're signed up, it takes zero effort to just continue getting that information straight to your fingertips on a daily basis. Also, get over there to StumpTheSpread.com and check out our Stump the Spread hoodies. We just had a drastic price reduction, cutting the cost by quite a bit there. We're basically selling them straight up at what they cost us to make and ship to you. So if you're interested in getting a Stump the Spread hoodie, now is the time to jump in. Also, guys, make sure you're getting over there and checking out the premium stuff. It's definitely worth your while. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single solitary week, and you guys have probably seen this before, but this is how it works. We're going to put this big wheel up on the screen right now. We're going to spin this wheel right now live on the video. Whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. This wheel has the name of every single YouTube channel member on it, and it looks like this week's winner is going to be Red Dog. Red Dog, you are the winner of this week's Stump the Spread hoodie giveaway. Get in the comments, let us know that you saw you won that giveaway, and we'll give you instructions on how to make sure you get that hoodie as quickly as possible. You can get it in as little as 7 days, guys. Also, if you're dying to have one of these hoodies, you can just get over there and very easily purchase one at stumpthespread.com, and you can have that within a week as well. So definitely make sure you're getting in there, get in the action, become a YouTube channel member. Huge shout out to all my YouTube channel members over here. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love seeing you down in the comments, and I love doing these giveaways every single week. So big shout out to you. Let's go ahead and dive back in. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Atlanta Hawks as they go on the road to take on the Toronto Raptors. The Hawks come into this game 17-20 on the season, fresh off a 34-17 loss there against the Raptors. This is one of those little 2-game mini series. Both games will be played in Toronto, and yeah, the Hawks didn't have a great time in game one. Jalen Johnson went off for 30 points. He's been playing amazing. 31 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's looked great as well, but this bench continues to look a little bit mediocre. Trae Young not playing in this game, and I don't know if they really missed him or not. That's turning into quite the saga there, whether or not they're going to keep him, whether they're going to trade him, whether they, him being on the court is beneficial or not, seems very up in the air. His defense is pretty suspect, but you also can't knock how good this dude has been on offense over the course of his career. So we'll see what they can do. It's pretty telling, though. You're losing games where you're shooting 44% from three. That is a very bad sign in my opinion. So we'll see what the Hawks can do in this one. They come into this game looking a little bit banged up still. The main injury concern here for Atlanta is, Trae Young. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? It appears right now that he's probably going to be sidelined. No, he officially won't play in this game. Yeah, he's out for this game. So we won't see Trae Young. Luke Kennard, that seems a bit more up in the air. He's dealing with the back issue. He's questionable. He might end up being out there. And did he play in game one? No, he did not play in game one. So we'll see what the Hawks can do, staying on the road here, staying in Toronto to take on the Raptors, who at 21-15 on the season have been playing well. They've won 3 out of their last 4, including game 1 of this little mini series. They played well in that game. Honestly, not a lot of complaints. Very good work from Brandon Ingram. RJ Barrett being back and looking really, really good. Whatever was going on with his knee, the news was getting pretty scary. All of a sudden, he just looked great out there, and yeah, he seems to be fine. They shoot nearly 40% from 3, do a great job dominating the boards in this game, and some decent contributions there from the bench. Nothing too crazy, but overall, life has to feel pretty good for the Toronto Raptors right now. And they also come into this game very healthy. Still no Jakob Poeltl, but other than that, the Raptors are healthy and ready to go. They're 3.5-point favorites here playing at home. We've got a total of 235.5. Atlanta is 12-8 against spread on the road. They're 10-9 against spread after a loss. They're 21-16 to the over. Toronto, they are 17-12 against the spread at home. They're 7 and 12 against spread at home, 10-10 against spread after win, 22-14 to the under. That's actually an NBA best to the under, which is a little bit surprising. Looking at the total here of 235.5, that's a pretty big number for these two teams, but I will still lean just a hair towards over, but no monster lean on that one. In terms of a side, usually you want to fade the team that won the first game. I can't do that in this spot. The Raptors are already 3-0 against the Hawks this season. It's not a big number. Give me Toronto here at -3.5. It's just feeling like this is a pretty bad matchup here for Atlanta, and I can't really blame the Hawks for not having a great time playing on the road up in Canada. Next on the docket, guys, we got the Phoenix Suns heading to Houston to take on the Rockets. The Suns are 21-14 on the season. They've won their last 2 in a row, a nail-biter of a win there over the Thunder. Very impressive stuff there, and a blowout win over the Kings. So that, the Kings game kind of goes the way you would expect it, but very, very impressive stuff last night taking down the Thunder. So they will be playing on no rest in this game, having just played on Sunday. Now they're going to try and play on Monday. In that win over the Thunder, they turned into a low-scoring slugfest. They end up winning by 3. Very, very good stuff there from Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks. Both of them played great. Jordan Goodwin actually led the team in scoring, putting up 26 points off the bench. He went 8 of 13 from 3, and he was a big part of why the Suns end up shooting 40% from 3 in this game. They also did a pretty good job getting to the free throw line. They destroyed the Thunder on the boards, which I mean, we all know Chet can't really hold his own on the boards against any sort of size, but still, it was a dominant rebounding performance from the entire team. The Suns did that without a double-digit rebounder, so very, very good work there. The problem is they got to turn around and head to Houston immediately. Now, it's not like it's the craziest flight because, or wait, did they play that game in Oklahoma City? No, they played that game at home. So it's from Phoenix to Houston. So like I said, not an insane flight, not a fully updated injury report. We do expect Grayson Allen to still be out. Kind of expect everybody else to play here as they head to Houston to take on the Rockets. Now, Houston, they're 21-11 on the season. They're coming off a 110-104 loss there against the Mavericks. Not exactly a team you're supposed to lose to, although Anthony Davis was playing in that game, and the Mavs look an awful lot better when Anthony Davis is out there alongside Cooper Flagg. In that loss, Kevin Durant put up 34 points. He played well, 19 from Tari Eason. Amen Thompson had 20 points. Sengun only played 1 minute. I believe he got re-injured in that game. Is that what happened? Yeah, ankle issue. Yeah, he's officially been ruled out for this game. Yeah, he hurt his ankle like immediately. Yeah, I remember. So yeah, nothing from Sengun obviously, and the bench was not helpful at all. So definitely some issues to be addressed here for the Houston Rockets. They're not really a team that can deal with a whole lot of injuries. Losing Fred VanVleet really kind of, that ship sailed. We also see Steven Adams on the injury report. He's dealing with an ankle issue himself and is questionable for this game. So they're at least going to be very, very shorthanded in terms of big men to run out there. Against the Suns, we'll see how much that matters. Despite all that, guys, the Rockets, they're 8.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 224.5. The Suns are 11-7 against spread on the road. They are 2-3 against spread on no rest. They're 18-16 to the under. Houston, they're a 500 against spread team at home. They're 6-4 against spread after a loss. They are 18-13-1 to the over. This is a tough spot. I do think we're just going to go ahead and fade the Suns playing on back-to-back nights here, coming off a big monster win. But I don't have enough faith in this to put it in the pinned comments. So give me the Rockets of -8.5, but this is generally speaking a stay-away spot for me. I need to see some updated injury reports, and I just don't know if I have that much faith in the Rockets to win this game by, like almost 10 when the Suns are playing this well. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at the Charlotte Hornets heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Now, the Hornets, they come in this game 12-23 on the season. They're playing pretty well, though, recently. I mean, a very nice 112-99 win over the Bulls their last time out, playing close games against pretty much everybody they face these days, and really showing a nice competitive streak here. We're loving what we're seeing from Brandon Miller. He had a monster dunk there. He's been playing great. We like what we saw from LaMelo Ball, at least somewhat. 7 assists, only 1 turnover, a pretty good night for him, and 17 points. Concanupple, a bad shooting night for him, but he has been dealing with an ankle issue, so that might be slowing him down a little bit. Colin Sexton coming off the bench gives his team tons and tons of energy. They smash the Bulls on the boards. That was very solid work there, and generally just liking a lot of what we're seeing from the Charlotte Hornets right now. Now, they do come into this game banged up. Some pretty big question marks. Concanupple and Brandon Miller both on the injury report. Concanupple, he's listed as questionable due to a right hip contusion. I think there's a good chance this 20-year-old rookie plays through that. Brandon Miller is probable due to a left knee contusion. I do fully expect him to be out there. Other than that, I mean, Kalkbrenner's still sidelined, but that is nothing new. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Hornets here. They are going on the road to take on the Thunder, and the Thunder are coming off a tough loss, no doubt about that. That 108-105 loss against the Suns. In that game, they just got so destroyed on the boards they weren't able to figure it out. Bad shooting night there from SGA. Chet was very efficient offensively, but only had 9 boards, and they need more than that from him. With Hartenstein out, Kason Wallace, not a good night at all. J-Dub played pretty well. Seems like he might be rounding into form. Lou Dort had a decent shooting night. The bench, though, was just flat out god-awful. I mean, Caruso had 2 points in 22 minutes. Had 3 assists. Congrats on that. No steals, though. AJ Mitchell was pretty good. 13 points in his 27 minutes. But, yeah, not good enough and definitely not enough, just not enough rebounding. Not enough rebounding at all. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home, so that should help at least somewhat. But the injury report remains not very updated. Now, it appears to be pretty thin there at center. Hartenstein still dealing with that calf issue. I'd be kind of surprised if he comes back for this one. And Jalen Williams did not play there against the Suns. Maybe he comes back for this game, but that also doesn't move the needle too much for me. So, looking at the numbers here, guys. The Thunder are 16.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 232.5. The Hornets are 10-8 against spread on the road. They're 5-6 against spread after a win. They are 21-14 to the under. The Thunder are 11-7 against spread at home. They're only 1-5 against the spread playing on no rest. They were basically a 500 over-under team. Guys, unless some crazy news breaks for the Hornets and like everybody is sitting, I'll take Charlotte here getting 16.5 points. Thunder are going to be a little bit tired. They're definitely going to win this game. They're not going to let it get away from them. But I also don't think they're going to be going too crazy hard here. They're going to be playing at home for this one. They're taking on a terrible team in the Hornets. I think we see them pull get a nice early lead and then coast to probably like a 10-point win there by the end. Definitely give me the Hornets here. They're very likely to be our dog of the day. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Denver Nuggets heading to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. The Nuggets are 23-12 on the season, and it's looking bleak. Jokic is going to be out for a bit. It seems very unclear how long he's going to be out, but they are going to struggle without him. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They're coming off a 127-115 loss there in Brooklyn on Sunday, and now they got to go from Brooklyn to Philly. Not exactly a terrible trip, but with Jamal Murray out there playing 40 minutes and trying to do a solo act, nothing is pointed in the right direction right now for these Nuggets. They're so banged up. Aaron Gordon came back, played 21 minutes, and had 20 points. He played great, but you can only do so much. It was one of those crazy shooting nights for Tim Hardaway Jr. He ended up going 5 of 10 from 3 and having 26 points. That's all great. You got waxed by the Brooklyn Nets. Not great. Not great. They couldn't really do anything on the boards. The Nets crushed them on the glass by 11. They couldn't play much defense either, with Jamal Murray trying to do everything on offense. Their old player, Michael Porter Jr., torched them for 27 points, 17 for Cam Thomas in 22 minutes coming off the bench. There's just not a lot Denver can do at this point. Like, they're so banged up. They miss Christian Brown. Obviously, having Aaron Gordon back will be nice. Will he even play here on the second half of a back-to-back? We'll have to wait and see. Will Jamal Murray even play here on the second half of a back-to-back after playing 40 minutes? I don't know, guys, but it is not looking very good right now for the Denver Nuggets. They're heading to Philly to take on the 76ers. They're 19-14 on the season. They are not playing on no rest in this game. They're winners of 3 in a row. They just took down the Knicks 130-119, so very good work there. Embiid looking healthy, getting his first dunk of the season. Maxey looking just incredible out there. 36 points, 14 of 22 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Just very, very good workout. Edgecombe played great as well, and they're playing the rookie pretty hard minutes, played 41 minutes in that game, but had 26 very efficient points. Paul George even, showing some signs of life. 15 points in his 35 minutes, though, is kind of embarrassing for the kind of contract he's on. But we'll see. The bench still worries me a little bit. Not loving what I'm seeing from Quentin Grimes or Jared McCain, but overall, this 76ers team looked very, very solid in that win over the Knicks, and they come into this game looking pretty freaking healthy. Kelly Oubre Jr. still sidelined, but Joel Embiid does sound like he's going to play in this one. He's listed as probable. Jokic not playing here for the Nuggets, so I think Embiid will definitely be ready to go, ready to get out there and show what he can do, and he's been looking a lot better recently, and just in general, the 76ers looked great. That's why they're such big favorites. They are 11.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 229.5. Denver's 11-9 against the spread on the road. They are 7-4 against the spread after a loss. They're 3-2 against the spread on no rest, and they are a big, big over team. All that being said, all of those statistics basically were acquired with Jokic out there. The 76ers are 8-9 against spread at home. They're a 500 team against spread after win. They're 17-16 to the over. I don't hate over 229.5 in this game, but better than that, guys, for sure. I'll just take the 76ers here to win in a blowout. I just don't think there's going to be much left in the tank in this one for Denver. This feels like something of a scheduled loss to me. I could see them resting some guys. So if you are interested in taking this game, jump on it early, because if lots of news breaks about this thing, that line is going to skyrocket. We could see the 76ers be 15, 16-point favorites. So if you like it, if you do trust the read here that Denver could be resting some guys, or that at minimum they're going to be exhausted, jump on the 76ers right away. Headed into our last couple of NBA games before we jump over to that college basketball slate, we're going to be looking at the Golden State Warriors heading to LA to take on the Clippers. Now, the Warriors, they come to this game 19-17, fresh off a 123-114 win there over the Jazz. But we see Draymond Green managed to make himself the center of attention once again in a very negative way. Played only 12 minutes, played really well, had 8 points in those 12 minutes. That being said, he was a minus 15 and got himself ejected from the game for being a psycho and throwing a fit arguing calls in a home game against the Utah Jazz. What are you doing out there, Draymond? I have no idea, but this is getting embarrassing at this point. I don't know what to say about that. Steph played great, 31 points, very efficient shooting numbers, 31 points, 34 minutes. He was a +5. The bench looked good. Trace Jackson-Davis is putting in good minutes. Gary Payton put up some very good minutes. D'Anthony Melton coming back and looking good is a big, big boost for this team. Podziemski played not great, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but 8 assists and 0 turnovers is a monster game from him. So we'll take that any day of the week. So very, very good work there. The Warriors have to be very happy, nailing down that win at home. Got to keep it rolling, though. They got to keep it rolling. They need a lot. They got a lot more work to do. They're fully healthy coming into this game. That's a big, big deal. They're rested and ready to get after it. I would be very excited to see them find a way to move Kuminga, although they've pretty much made his trade value zero at this point, I would think, with refusing to play him. But we'll see what goes on as they head to LA to take on the Clippers. They're 12-22 on the season. We see Derrick Jones go down with another MCL sprain, so yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. They got waxed by the Celtics their last time out. They had been playing better, but Kawhi, not a great night. 22 points, 6 of 17. He was a minus 12. The bench looked pretty terrible, except for Derrick Jones Jr., before he got hurt. And yeah, nothing too crazy there from James Harden. Brook Lopez is starting to look a million years old again. John Collins had a great night, but you can only do so much. So we'll see. We'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. They're obviously not at full health. Derrick Jones Jr. out for this game. Bogdanovich has been missing time pretty consistently. He's out. So the bench unit looks like Brook Lopez, Batum, and Kobe Sanders. That's a big old yikes for me. So we'll see what they can do at home, though. They're in a matchup that they shouldn't have too much trouble with, taking on a Warriors team that hasn't been great. The Clippers are 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 224.5. The Warriors are 8-12 against spread on the road, 7-11 against spread after win, 21-15 to the over. The Clippers are 6-11 against spread at home, 8-13 against spread after a loss, and 18-16 to the under. I can't really justify taking the Warriors here on the road. They don't have anybody that can even kind of guard Zubac in this matchup. I mean, I guess the idea is that they'll put Draymond on him. I guess Quentin Post and Trace Jackson-Davis are going to see some time against him. That's not going to go great. Zubac is going to dominate those guys. So I think taking the Clippers here at -1.5 is definitely the play. The only way this thing gets out of hand is if it's some sort of crazy outlier night from Steph and one other guard is going to have to really, really go nuts. So give me the Clippers in this spot. I also think over 224.5 is a very reasonable play in this game. I maybe like the over more than I like the side, but unlikely that anything from this game is going to make the pinned comment. In our last NBA game of the night, before we hop over and look at those college basketball games, we've got the 12-22 Utah Jazz going on the road to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, Utah's actually been semi-respectable this season. They have lost 3 in a row, but a 10-point game against the Celtics, a 19-point game against the Clippers, and then a very competitive game there against the Warriors. So they don't always stay super attached, but there's some very, very good pieces on this team. There's a lot to be excited about for the future, or, maybe you change that future up and you make some big, big trades, because Lauri Markkanen's trade value has to be sky high. Dude looked amazing there against Golden State, had 35 very efficient points in his 41 minutes, 6 boards, no too crazy like other stats, but very, very good work there. Keontae George is having a great season. We've seen big moments from guys like Kyle Filipowski. Walter Clayton Jr. in his rookie years looked good. So a lot of positives for the Utah Jazz right now. We'll see what they can do. They are going on the road in this spot. That's not always the easiest for them. Ace Bailey will be out for this game. Nurkic is on the injury report. He's questionable there with that toe issue, so seems very up in the air whether or not he will actually be able to play, but we'll have to wait and see as they head to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Now, Portland, they've won 4 out of their last 5. They're coming off a 115-110 win there over the Spurs, and that was in San Antonio. So excellent work there. Denny Adjeva played great. Donovan Clingan had 24 very efficient points. He played great. 3 of 5 from 3. Big shout out to Donovan Clingan for finding a way to be that efficient of a 3-point shooter. It was actually a terrible game from Shadion Sharp, which is very unusual for him. He's having a fantastic season. Caleb Love had 16 points off the bench. They shot 42% from 3. A big problem for them, they couldn't make their free throws. They only shot 16 of 27 from 3. Not great. They had a little edge on the boards and played really, really well against the shorthanded Spurs, so I'll give them credit, but could have made this game a lot more comfortable if they could have knocked down their free throws. The injury report here for Portland looks very similar to what we've been used to seeing. Jeremy Grant still out dealing with that Achilles issue. He will not play in this game. Robert Williams III is questionable. We'll see if he makes his way out there, but overall, it's the the regular suspects here for these Portland Trailblazers, and it is getting a little bit interesting. How good would this team be if Jrue Holiday could come back and look like he was looking at the beginning of the season? But anyway, looking at the numbers for this one, the Blazers are 6.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 245.5. The Jazz are 6-9 against spread on the road, 12-9 against spread after a loss, and 21-13 to the over. Portland 9-7 against spread at home, 6-9 against the spread after a win, 19-17 to the over. I actually think this is a pretty good spot to back the over. I think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense in this game. Neither team really plays defense at this point, so I think taking over in this spot makes a lot of sense. If you're begging me for a side, I will back the Blazers here at -6.5 playing at home, just because the Jazz are not great on the road, but I don't have a lot of conviction in the side. I definitely think the total is the better play. Now, guys, hopping over to look at our college basketball slate. Not a ton of big name games out there, but I've got 4 that I'm going to break down for you. And first up, we're going to break down one of the biggest games of the night. We've got number 13 Nebraska going on the road to take on Ohio State. Now, the Cornhuskers have been one of the biggest stories in college basketball this season. They're 14-0, a perfect undefeated start. They're coming off that crazy 2-point win there over number 9 Michigan State. We were on Michigan State plus 2.5 in that game, so we won that pick via the hook, but very, very good work. They've got some pretty nice wins on the docket so far this season. Not a crazy number. I mean, they've beaten Michigan State. That was their biggest win of the season. They beat Illinois, number 13 Illinois, in a close one. Blew out Wisconsin. Blew out Creighton. They beat Kansas State by 1 point, and they beat New Mexico and Oklahoma. So, very, very good work. They've had some tough games. Mast has been a monster for them this season. Hoiberg has been a good point guard. They're a good, well-rounded team. They play some great defense, giving up only 65.5 points per game. Everything looks pretty good. It was definitely a rock fight of a game there against Michigan State. Nobody shot the ball insanely well. I mean, they shot 32% from the field as a team. Mast going 6 of 13 from 3, though. That really helped put them over the top. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Not going to be an easy one necessarily. They're going on the road to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, Ohio State is 10-3 on the season. They're coming off a 7-point win there over Rutgers. They've had some tough losses against some good teams this season. I mean, lost a 1-point game there against North Carolina, won a 1-point game against West Virginia. That one's a little bit iffy. Lost an 8-point game against number 13 Illinois, beat Notre Dame by 1. They've played some close games this season. They've got a monster in Bruce Thornton. I mean, the dude's putting up 21 points per game, shooting nearly 60% from the field. They're 56 in the nation in total offense, which is just a little bit higher than what we see from Nebraska. Their defense, though, is not anywhere close to the same level, and their rebounding, same kind of situation. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home, so that helps. They're 2.5-point favorites, which is a little bit shocking. We got a total of 155.5. Nebraska, they're 7-6-1 against the spread this year. They're 9-5 to the over. Ohio State, they're 5-8 against the spread. They're 7-6 to the over. My problem with this game is Nebraska is going to be a massive public side here. Everybody's going to be on Nebraska getting 2.5. Actually, I'm so surprised by that number. Let's do a little double check right now. Make sure I didn't write down something. No, I definitely didn't. Ohio State, they are the favorites here. So I'm going to lean just slightly towards Nebraska, but it feels too trappy. This one's not going to make the pinned comment. Next up, we've got the Oregon Ducks heading to Rutgers to take on the Scarlet Knights. The Ducks, they're 8-6 on the season, not exactly killing it. They are fresh off a 10-point win over Maryland, so I'm sure that feels good. They stayed attached there, played a competitive game against Gonzaga. That's nice. 9-point loss there against UCLA, 5-point loss against USC. Losing by 10 to Creighton doesn't exactly look great. You can see kind of a pattern here. This team is decent, but they're just not on the top tier. They're not amazing offensively, but they're okay. They're not amazing defensively, but they're okay. They're very solid on the boards, but I still wouldn't put them quite in the elite level. So definitely just feels like there's another step that needs to be taken here for Oregon if they want to be among the better teams out there in the Big Ten. Rutgers, on the other hand, though, looking bad. Straight up not looking very good. They're 7-7 on the season. They're coming off an 80-73 loss against Ohio State. They've lost to Ohio State, Seton Hall, Michigan, Purdue. They beat UNLV. They lost to Notre Dame, lost to Tennessee. Don't have any big name wins on the resume whatsoever. They're 0-3 in conference play in the Big Ten so far. Don't have any monster leading scorers to go to. They're 380th in the nation in total scoring. Their defense isn't great. Their ball movement's atrocious. I don't have a lot of good things to say about Rutgers right now. They are playing at home. They're getting 6.5 points at home. We've got a total of 142.5. Oregon, they're 5-9 against the spread. They're 8-6 to the over. Rutgers, they're 4-10 against the spread, and they're a 500 over/under team. Give me Oregon on the road in this one, guys. I think they win it pretty convincingly. This Rutgers team is just straight up not good. Normally, I'd think they'd have a chance here playing at home, but I just don't think that's happening. I think Oregon is a pretty decent team. They're not great, but they're decent, and I can't say the same for Rutgers. I think Oregon probably wins this game by around 10 points. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks heading to McNeese to take on the Cowboys. Now, Stephen F. Austin, they're 12-2 on the season, having a pretty good year. They're fresh off a 10-point win over Southeast Louisiana. They're currently 5-0 in Southland play, off to a perfect start there in conference. Everything's looking exactly how you would wish for it to look if you were Stephen F. Austin. This is going to be kind of a big test for them, so we'll see how they do. Haven't played a ton of step-up games really at all this season, but I wouldn't say that McNeese is necessarily a step-up team. Keon Thompson leads this team, 18 points per game, 5 assists, shooting nearly 50% from the field. Their rebounding numbers are fantastic. Their defense is excellent. There's a lot to like right now about Stephen F. Austin. So we'll see what they can do on the road here against McNeese. The Cowboys are 11-3 on the season. They have played some step-up games, getting blown out by like 40 against number 2 Michigan is the main step-up game. They did beat George Washington. They beat Murray State, but those aren't step-up games at all. I guess that was the only step-up game they played. I thought they had worked another good team in there. I guess they didn't. They're coming off an 82-70 win over Lamar. Cool. They're 4-1 in conference play with that loss to Incarnate Word. Larry Johnson leads his team in scoring, 16.5 points per game, shooting 56% from the field is nothing to turn your nose up at. But I do worry about the rebounding here of the Cowboys. It's not great. The defense is okay. Their offense is good. Very, very good. 51st in the nation in total offense. So a lot to like there, but they are 10.5 point favorites playing at home in this game. We've got a total of 142.5. Stephen F. Austin is 10-2 against the spread this season. The odds makers have been way off on them. They're 8-4 to the under. McNeese, they're 5-5-1 against the spread. They're 6-5 to the over. Guys, I'll definitely take Stephen F. Austin here getting double-digit points. Definitely jump on this one early. I think we're going to see this go down. I think we could see this number end around 8.5. I don't think McNeese, even with the name recognition, is going to hold on to this number. I think professional money is going to come in and move this number quite a bit. So definitely jump on Stephen F. Austin here and getting double-digit points. Last but not least, guys, we have the marquee game of the night in college basketball. We have the number 24 USC Trojans going on the road to take on number 9 Michigan State. Now, USC, very, very far from home. One of these crazy cross-country kind of situations that arise now in the Big Ten, the new-look Big Ten. USC, they're coming off a 96-66 blowout loss at the hands of Michigan. That one didn't go great. They've played some decent opposition this year, but nothing too crazy. They've beaten Seton Hall in a very close game, barely beat Boise State. Also a close game there against Washington State. I think this USC team is a little bit overrated, and part of that is their leading scorer there, Chad Baker Mazara. He's putting up 20 points per game, very, very efficient shooting numbers. They're 34th in the nation total offense. All their numbers look pretty good. But when you look at what they've done against, decent teams, or especially what happened to them against Michigan, all of a sudden it gets a little bit sketchy. So we'll see what they can do here at Michigan State. The Spartans are 12-2 on the season. Their 2 losses here came against number 4 Duke by 6 points in a game they really fumbled away at the end, and the 2-point loss they just had against Nebraska. Now, this team is excellent. Obviously, we see Izzo doing a lot of talking in the media about all the craziness going on in college basketball right now, and I don't blame him for that. Something needs to be said because it's getting a little out of hand, but the rebounding numbers and the defense that the Spartans team is putting up on a nightly basis are absolutely bonkers. They could have won that game against Nebraska. They could have won that game against Duke. They're just a couple breaks of the game away from being an undefeated team at this point in the season. That would be very, very impressive. So, looking at the numbers, the Spartans are 10.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 151.5. USC, they're 6-7 against the spread this year. They're 8-5 to the over. Michigan State, they're 5-7-2 against the spread, and they are 9-5 to the under. I do think this is a good spot to back under 151.5. That's my favorite play on this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense. Now, that being said, that would make me normally want to back the Trojans, but they looked so bad against Michigan. I don't think the cold agrees with them. I think they are being overvalued pretty dramatically at this point. I don't think they're going to have a good time against the kind of defense that Michigan State's going to be allowed to play here at home. Definitely giving the Spartans here at minus 10.5 as well, but I do think that under is probably the better play. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a pretty busy Monday. Do me a huge favor as a New Year's resolution, hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and to just help these videos get promoted out there. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys. We're trying to make it to 100,000 subscribers this year. Had a buddy text me about that. That is our goal. I know it's a very lofty goal, but we're going to try to make it happen. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out all the free stuff we offer over there. We got free picks every single day. Check out the premium picks as well. And guys, we'll be right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.